Hello, my friends. James and Melanie here from the Limitless family.
How's it going, guys?
And in today's video, we just wanted to talk to you about tough times. Everybody in their life at some point experiences a rut or a very challenging time of when they go through. And I just want to share with you a principle that we know that will be able to help you utilize your tough time to get you to the next level. And that is, what do you do during your tough times? So what oftentimes people do is they shrink, they contract, they pull together and tense up during tough times.
Yeah, that's so true, right? Because when we're going through a rough time, that's I think the natural thing to do as human beings is just we get so fearful and uncertain that our body tightens up and we're just
everything tightens up.
we just
you don't know what to do.
We're frustrated. We're fearful.
You get caught in that cycle of I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, and you're saying the same words over, and the same patterns are coming up. Your body's doing the exact same thing, tightening up every single time.
Yep.
So I want to introduce to you guys the concept of hot versus cold, and this is actually something you can remember, and that will help you get through and actually thrive on the other side of the tough times. So what I mean by hot versus cold here.
Yeah, what do you mean, James?
So oftentimes cold, the concept of cold, what happens if you ice things up in cold, it shrinks it. It makes it contract,
right?
It contracts
the
it.
constriction.
The contraction, yeah.
And that's what happens with cold, right?
Exactly.
Everything contracts.
So during tough times, what often happens, it's like during your winter months. We're from Canada, so this is a good analogy for it.
We're used to that.
During your winter months, everything contracts, everything shrinks and hibernates and goes down, contracts. So it's actually during the tough times where you want to expand.
So when the natural tendency is to contract, is to do the opposite.
Yes, so to do the opposite. I'll give you more tangible examples in a minute. But what you want to do is turn up the heat and expand. Expand your being. Expand what you can provide in the world. So I'm going to give you a more tangible example of how this relates to society and money. So if you look out through the historical view of money, right from like the most depression times, like in the 1960s, 1930s, and the 1970s, and the 1990s, even 2008, and during every one of those times, what happens is the rest of the world is contracting. That during any of those recession times, people contract. They see where they can cut off resources, cut off so they can contract, so they can survive and get through to the next level. But what the rich know is that's actually the time where you turn on the heat and expand the value you provide for the world. So I'll give you an example through a historical view of money, and this actually just occurred to me while we were shooting this video. But I remember reading about, I can't remember which depression, I think in the 50s. There's a famous example of how people went out on the streets and started selling apples. It's called the apple cart example. You can look it up on Google. I can't remember all the details, but it became famous that people started monetizing these little apple shops off of the street. During the time when everyone's contracting their money, holding it back, contracting, people went out there and started adding value. What are people looking for? People are looking for food. So we're going to provide a healthy apple, and they started making these apple carts on the side of New York. And this is a famous example. You can type in all the details.
Is that how the Big Apple?
The Big
yes. New York became the Big Apple?
That's true. That's exactly why it got its name, the Big Apple. It's during the Depression. I think it was the 30s. During the 30s, yes. Sorry, I'm pulling this all from memory. This is a raw video. But during the 30s, this is how New York City got its name, the Big Apple. Awesome. I'm glad we pulled that out. It's during those times. It's because these little apple carts start showing up all down New York Street during the Depression times when everybody's depressed. The whole mentality is low. So people are contracting where they can cut off and save money. That's the natural tendency.
That's right.
But what the secret to money...
That's not what gets you out of that state.
Not at all.
Or of the troubles.
The secret to money, the secret of what the rich know is it's actually during those times is the most time to expand. So what happens is during these depression times in the historical view of monetary, during all through the 1900s all the way to 2008 recessions, during every one of those times, the rich knows to buy up all the cheap real estate, pennies on the dollar. They expand what they do on a different level, and that's why they get rich.
When everybody else is
cutting
back and saving their money. Hey guys, so we're back. So we got cut off because we actually ran out of storage space on our phone. shooting part 2 of this video with the iPad. All right, so James, where are we at?
So we were talking about the message and the concept during tough times. What do you do? Do you contract or do you expand? What's your natural tendency and where do you really want to go? So oftentimes people's natural tendency is to contract everything, cut off where they're spending, save everything.
Right?
So what happens is, my advice to you, whether you're in business, whether you're in life and want to get through the tough time and thrive, is you actually need to expand. It's just like your breathing. What happens if you contract all your breathing down? You die. So what you want to do is expand where you are. Expand the value you're giving in your business. Expand the marketing you're doing in your business. And this is how you can get out and reach more people to make more money. This is what the rich do during the times that everyone else and the rest of society is contracting. They're figuring out, how do I expand? How do I add more to the world? How do I show up in a bigger way that can provide a bigger result? So what you want to do to make this and drill it down to a tangible result for you is what you want to do is you want to expand. Think in expansion. Because the moment you start contracting and shrinking down, you die. Your breathing literally stops. You want to expand your life, expand your being, expand your growth, and that's a great time. Winter time is a great time to do introspective work. And we actually just recently did some because we were going through a challenge of our own. So that's a great time to do some reflective work, some introspective work, and so you can expand to the next level. What is it that you need to get to go to the next level? It's all about expansion during tough times. But the natural tendency, and maybe you've done this in the past, we've had our fair share of this, but when we learned this concept and really got it, things started shifting in our life. So what you want to do during those tough times, if you're going through a tough time, no matter whether it's family issues, relationship issues, even if it's a relationship challenge, let's just talk about that for instance. What if you, instead of contracting and pulling your love away from somebody, what if you started expanding? How can I show up and magnify their experience that they think I'm the most awesome person in the world? How can you magnify and expand everything? So same thing with business, money.
Anything in life, really.
Exactly. How can you show up and add more where it magnifies and expands the experiences for other people? Because here's the thing, when everybody else is contracting around you, whether it's family, whether it's society, or whether it's your audience that you're doing in business, when everybody else is contracting, how are you expanding and adding to their experience? That's what's going to flip into the monetary gain. That's what's going to flip into money, and that's what's going to flip into giving better experiences for what you're really going for and the results that you want to achieve in your life. So I'm going to leave you with that.
I couldn't have said it any better myself.
I love how this is a real raw video, and we really got around to shooting how the Big Apple, New York, got its name. It's because of all the apple carts. When people are trying to expand, how do they do business? How do they transact some money? Because they were so desperate, they needed to find out what people needed, and people needed food, and that was apples. During the dirty 30s, the depression time of the 1930s in New York City, and that's how New York got its name, the Big Apple.
So I think it would be fair to say that regardless of the challenge that you're going through right now, if you utilize that example and you say, what can I learn from this? And how can this serve me in my life right now? And actually, how can I utilize this as a learning for myself to get over the challenge that I'm going through right now? Is really, how can I add more value? What is it that I need to get, but also what is it that people around me need from me?
Exactly.
Well, how can I add more value?
What is it they need to get?
What is it that they need to get?
That I can provide.
That I can provide. So it really comes down to that. When we shift our focus and shift the ways that we think and really answer that question and then start providing that as a solution, that everything changes, everything shifts from that, and then we can not only by expanding our thinking, we then expand our results. So the concept of hot versus cold. And in times of hard times,
the natural tendency is to shrink down and get cold.
What we want to do to get over those tough times faster is to expand, my friends. So hope that you got value out of this video. Let us know your thoughts. Comment. There must be a place to comment below. We're doing this spontaneously, guys. So it was awesome to share with you guys. Thank you for listening.
Remember.
And remember, live life, be free, be liberty.